busiest blocks of Bourbon Street, the 500 block, just after midnight, and witnesses tell us they were not the gunman's intended target. New Orleans EMS shares the revolutionary life-saving measure that had to be taken in the thick of the French Quarter crowds.
It's hard to believe. It's a lot going on. It's Saturday night. You're supposed to have a good time, and people take it out of control.
An employee of a nearby bar saw the chilling scene unfold around 12:13 in the morning.
There was a man who come out with a gun, extended clip gun. He was trying to shoot the man. The man ran out and ran to one of the clubs. The gun, one of the bullets hit the lady in the leg.
Police say a 54-year-old woman and a 28-year-old woman were both hit. One was rushed to the hospital. The other, that the employee says was hit in the leg, was treated on scene by this paramedic.
And noticed that her blood pressure was a little low. So I decided at that moment to go ahead and give blood. She was showing signs of shock, so not an ideal location on the street, but I felt that it was necessary.
A bystander had thankfully already applied a tourniquet, and paramedic Thomas Morrow was able to start giving her blood within 10 minutes of saying hello.
We were able to get her to the hospital and have a positive outcome. As far as I know.
The woman was the 100th person to receive blood like this in the year that New Orleans EMS started this cutting-edge emergency response.
So we do see patients. We've seen patients over the years who simply lost too much prior to we could get to them, or lost too much before we could get them to the trauma center where they would receive more blood.
The paramedics use the most common blood type with the white blood cells removed, and of the 100 people they've treated this year, there haven't been any reactions due to having a different blood type.
While the chance of you having a reaction is one of our transfusions exists, we're comparing that to the fact that you have lost too much blood and are going to likely die from that result. So at least we keep you on the right side of the earth, like they say here, long enough to make it to the hospital, and then we can treat that transfusion reaction on the back end.
This is brand new, so New Orleans EMS hasn't completed their study, but they say they are seeing a higher survival rate now. They are the only ground ambulance service in Louisiana carrying blood. There are only 5 total in the country, in Texas and Virginia.
We've always been told, you're so close to a trauma center, you don't need blood. You're so close to a trauma center, you don't need blood. You're 5 minutes, you're 8 minutes. But my first ever blood administration, the patient normally would not have done well, but by the time we got that patient to the hospital, they were talking, and they weren't talking before. And from that moment on, I was 100% sold. I feel a lot better now that I can actually make more of a difference than I could before.
Anyone with any information on that shooting is asked to leave an anonymous tip with Crime Stoppers. We've reached out to NOPD for more information, like the conditions of the victim, but have not heard back. That was just one of several shootings throughout the weekend that the NOPD is investigating right now. Reports say a 14-year-old boy was shot multiple times on Saturday. It happened just before 12:30 in the 1800 block of Newton Street in Algiers. Roughly 3 hours later, a man was shot in the 1500 block of Gravier Street in downtown New Orleans. Just before 7:30 last night, a 17-year-old boy was shot by a suspect he owed money to. That incident happened near the corner of De La Chaise and South Galvez Streets in the Broadmoor. At around 10:30 last night, a 17-year-old girl was shot in the leg. Police say a male suspect shot her inside of a home in the 3100 block of Gravier Street. The condition of all 6 victims is unknown. No announcement has been made on arrests connected to any of these shootings.